that, I apologize. But I think what happens in the film, and that's a scary thing to approach and think about. And when I was reading the script, I was just absolutely blown away by it. But my concerns would have been around how directors and Celia would have approached a character like Brian, who does what he does. And I think we decided very early on to treat him with as much love as anybody else in it, and let the audience decide and encounter the film for themselves. And I think it's just a scary thing to like jump into, but once you're in the middle of it, you just treat the character with the kind of respect of the craft. And having directors that were holding him up, I think, allows the film to leave an audience with a kind of complicated response, and then to get to go into like the trenches with Emily on a daily basis is like truly one of like the great privileges of my career. So yeah.
I would like to ask a question to Tony next, because you also have a very interesting role in the film, because we see the tradition and the patriarchy all the time, but changes will come with a younger generation, played by you and by you, Aisling. What I find really remarkable in your story is like you are a single mother, and there's absolutely no stigma around that, and it's the first time we see a possible change for this community. And also you mentioned different things like I will learn my child to swim, I'm done with this, I want changes. So it seems like a very interesting role to play. Can you talk about how you approached the script and then working on the film?
Yeah.
Alors vous, Tony, vous avez un rôle intéressant.
When I first read the script, I was like, Erin for me was that really interesting character that peppers all these female characters that's still there, and she's so fiercely independent. And my question was always with the directors, why didn't she leave? Like Shane and I spoke about that in rehearsals. You know, this community is so oppressive for Erin, and she's witnessing all these issues and calling them out, which is really important. So why is she not leaving? And I guess we spoke about for that change, to kind of go, well, look at me, I am going to raise my son here, and he is going to be able to swim, and he's going to be the change. That's my contribution. And I think with that scene with Aileen, we kind of feel that Erin has had her struggle and it didn't go her way, and she's fighting whatever had happened in her life, and she's just slightly made peace with that and gone, okay, you know, the world is messed up. What can I now do? How can I change that and further?
It brings it to you, Aisling, because you are the character that interprets the most, in a way, the heart of the film. You have to bear the brutality of the men and the tradition and the patriarchy. You are ostracized for speaking up, yet at the end you are the light of hope and what is breaking the circle from the film, which is a circle with a drowning at the beginning and the end. And that scene at the end when you are leaving is really extremely emotional. Can you talk about approaching, playing the role of Emma?
Alors vous,
Firstly, it was just a privilege to be part of this project, and when I read the script I found it really interesting. I played a victim of sexual assault before, and I thought that this was a really interesting interpretation of it, and a very unique view of how it really affects the whole community, and then you really witness what that person then has to leave behind. In a case like Sarah, we get to see the duality of the world that she has to leave behind, you know, the closeness, the tight-knit community, the loyalty, everyone knowing everyone, but equally nobody wanting anything about that to change, and so anyone who in any way is going to disrupt that has to be shut out, because it is going to disrupt the reality that we very much like, or don't want to kind of acknowledge and look at. Her leaving, I think, is heartbreaking and brave at the same time. You know, she has a speech with with Aileen, where she says, I wanted to stay here. I wanted to build my life here. I wanted to be like Erin. This is my home. I'm proud of it, but I can't. It's everything has been destroyed for me, and I have to go and try and live a new life. And it's what I find difficult to accept is that her bravery causes so much loss. She should be the one who wins, but she has to leave everything she's ever known. So yeah, it's all about, I think this whole film is about duality and kind of lots of different layers.